is Transformers Override out of the box. The vehicle mode looks spectacular. The overall white plastic throughout the figure is spot on. It matches, including its weapon for also that doubles down as a engine piece. So great. The red paint obviously on top matches throughout the vehicle. They did a fantastic job with this. Down below, I'd like to point out like this black and gold trim right there looks great. The wheels all match up even with the rims. The wheels are also red translucent plastic. They just pop for this vehicle, so I really like that. Underneath the vehicle, it cleans up very well. There is nothing really to hide or anything. It's on compact and everything. It looks great. This is actually red plastic here, which matches pretty close, if not exact, to what we're looking for from the red paint they did for the alt mode here. Underneath again, obviously you can see this is where her arms are, which is great, but they have that nice design and everything, and it matches up underneath and it comes back here and everything. It all cleans up very, very well. Very cool. Back here, I'd like to just point out, this also comes off and becomes the weapon. I'll talk about this a little bit later again, but I just want to point out that if you're using blast effects, even on these pegs here, or right on here for the weapon when it transforms that part, the red paint will chip. And I just want to show that off right here. So I had them on, just doing some pictures for Instagram and everything. And yeah, red paint came right off on both of them. Not as bad, it just chipped a little bit here, but this one just like took decent amount off. So I mean, if you're not concerned about the red paint just on these pegs right here and just being white, I mean, that's fine, but hey, that's up to you. That's your toy. You do what you want to do. But overall, I think this alt mode is definitely awesome. And here we have Legacy Velocitron series, Clamp Down. And here's also Transformers Legacy Velocitron Burnout. Transformers Siege Impactor. Alright, so let's start with the transformation. So obviously you're going to want to come back here. You're going to take this piece off, just set it to the side for now. Obviously you just want to show off that little bit of molded detail they put underneath the car there. Looks cool. So what we're going to do, you want to lift up this to make sure these tabs right here are not connected. And then what you're going to do, you're going to separate the legs, basically. These are the legs. And you're going to collapse them down and show off how that looks and everything. And as you're doing this, there is a peg right here where my thumbnail is touching right now, and it's going to come down, just going to follow it through, and there's a hole in there, right in there. It's very hard to see, and that's where that peg's going to go into to secure the leg then. So you're just going to extend the leg out, and you're just going to hear click, just like that. Now you're going to come back here, you're going to move this piece out of the way, clear the foot, and then bring this down, and you're going to, this slot right here where my thumbnail is in, is going to go into this peg right here. You just got to go like that. So that leg is complete. Readjust. So this is what you should look at right now. Starting with this leg. This is already collapsed, but just in case this cockpit here, the tabs come down and lock this piece back in, just put your thumb under there because you don't want to break that off. Come down, do the same thing, just like you did, just opposite leg. Come back here, and you're going to bring it to about there, just enough to clear the foot, and you're going to bring it in and just line it up right here. And that's it. So those are the legs. It's pretty good so far. Now, this is where things get a little weird, and I just got to readjust. There we go. So the hands right here are on pegs. Just loosen them up. They're tabbed in right up here. That black piece there. So you're just gonna fold them out just like this. Just bring it down like that. And just like that. real easy. Now this is on obviously a double hinge. See where this is going? Okay. So what you want to do is bring this down, fold it. Let's see here. So about there. Just messing with it just to see, just to show you. Now you're going to bring this down just like this. So now you're going to have something that's looking really weird like that. You're going to bring this up. Now there's a couple different things you got to do here. There's this big pin here. It's on a slider. So you're going to slide this over. So you're going to line up this piece. And there's on another pin right in there. There's a double pin. Okay. So you're going to bring this down like this. You're going to want this peg right here going to that hole right there. But also you want to be able to slide this across. And also there's a peg right in there that's going to line up and peg in as well. And then there's another peg back here that got to go into this slot right in here. Right there. So it all locks in. So it's a little tedious, but once you get it down, it's not so bad. I'm just going to nudge this in just a little bit just to guide it in. Peg that in. And let's see. And that's in. So you'll know if it's in because this will be secure. Alright, just like the first one. Do it again. Just like that. Just going to guide in just a little bit. I'm going to move the arm out of the way. Sometimes it does get in the way. And sometimes it just don't want to cooperate and you kind of gotta squish it in a little bit, but it will work. Readjust the hands. Bringing up the weapon. Just like that. Peg in. And there you have Transformers Velocitron Override. You can look at Override in robot mode. She looks awesome. Nice head sculpt right there. Got the blue eyes, gold face. Got that white trim in there along with a red trim on the outside of that, even for that. To make a nice touch there. The horns, nice red. Got the nice top part of it's her head as well, and that white with that blue in there. It looks great, and it matches up with this blue right here. They did a great job. The head is on a little bit of a ball joint. You can do a full, I wouldn't say full 360. I think the chin piece kind of gets in the way there as you're trying to turn, so I wouldn't recommend it, as that is red paint on white plastic there. So be very careful. As you can see, it looks like I chipped this red off just that little corner there. It's really hard to see, but that's a bummer, but overall, still fantastic. Moving down, we got to the shoulders. We got that black with the gold trim I pointed out earlier in alt mode. Looks fantastic. Then we got some red plastic, actually. That is not red paint over it, a white, so I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this matches this red. I think they... Yeah, that's red plastic. Okay, cool. That's even better. So you don't have to worry about scratching up right around the elbow area of this figure. Fantastic. Then you got that nice gold trim again, black, all the way down through her arms. Very, very cool. So there's that. Moving down to the torso. Nice cockpit. I like how this does collapse and lock in. Makes it very, very secure. I like the engineering of this figure. Moving down to the crotch area, it's all white. Moving down to the legs and the knees, you got the white plastic here, you got the red plastic, looks good, and then you got the red paint over all this white. You got the nice wheels that just show off and they still spin. I think that's pretty cool. Moving down to the rest of the figure, you do have some, you got the black feet, and then you got these giant heels on the back here. I'm going to assume that is what she originally had, even in the animation that she was in. Not too familiar with that, but either way, she doesn't have any issues about falling over with those big giant heels, so that's pretty nice. Articulation is as follows. You get a full 360 on the shoulder, and you get the bicep swivel, and you get the 90-degree bend at the elbow. Very cool. Wrist articulation, yes, full 360. Very cool. Waist articulation is there, but due to this backpack area, unfortunately she is a little limited, but she gets a little bit, so that's not bad. She can do splits for days. She has full 90-degree bend at the knee, I'm sorry. Actually a little bit more than 90. You got the thigh swivel, which is nice. And then ankle articulation is just this. And then you get a little bit up and back and forth here. So you don't get the crazy range on some of the other figures previously that they have made. So, but overall, very cool. Weapon-wise, looks great. It's pretty much just this piece, as I've shown off really quickly. Just these two pieces folding out, and you just fold the wings back up. But that's it. And like I said, you can do blast effects if you want. Fortunately, that's where I lost some red paint here, so I don't recommend that. But that's up to you. So, and also if you want to store this in robot mode, on her back, just come back here, just peg it in, use it as a jetpack, I guess. And here we have clamp down next to override, looks good. And here we have also Velocitron Wavemate Burnout. And finally here we have Transformers Siege Deluxe Class Impactor. Transformers Velocitron Speedia 500 Collection Voyager Class Override. Well, articulation. Overall, I think it is very good. The price point, I think it's there for a Voyager. Presentation, awesome. I think the new paint app deco, it just works awesome with this figure. The black and the gold trim throughout the figure. We got the red paint on the white plastic overall. And I think the transformation is a lot of fun. And I like how the upper part collapses in and locks in place, so it's not becoming loose or anything like that. I think they did a fantastic job with that. The accessories, obviously there is a little bit of parts forming, but that's just how this figure is, so that's how she gets her weapon. So I think that's very cool. The only downside with this figure that I have noticed is they use the red paint over white plastic, and if you're using blast effects, I don't recommend it, as I pointed out, but I'll just bring that up one more time. The blast effects will take the paint right off, so I don't recommend that in alt mode or in robot mode, but if you decide to do it anyway, that's up to you. So where does this scale? I'm gonna say it's definitely above average. I know when I compared it with Impactor, our Siege Deluxe class, I know he's a little bit larger than usual, but the engineering involved with this and the paint deco, that's where you're getting that higher price point. And we see that it's going to be happening again when we get the Transformers Studio Series 86 Ironhide, where he's not part forming. So that's where this figure has a higher price point, becoming a Voyager instead of being a Deluxe. So overall, fantastic figure. So I'll just say above average. So if you made it into this review, I'd just like to say thank you to all my subscribers up to this point. I'm closing in on that 500 sub count. It looks like a milestone. It's right around the corner. So I greatly appreciate if anybody watched to the end of this to just give me a sub, give me a like, and share the video. So that's going to be it for the review. Thank you for watching, and take care.